Let's be brutally honest with ourselves for a second. We all walk around thinking we're some kind of multitasking gods, juggling life with the grace of a circus performer. We've got 17 browser tabs screaming for attention, we're half listening to a podcast on 2 times speed, and we're trying to remember if we actually consumed a meal today or just photosynthesized from the glow of our screen. Our brains feel like a squirrel that just chugged 3 espressos and was then fired out of a cannon. But here's the secret truth nobody wants to admit. We aren't multitasking. We're just teaching our brains how to be spectacularly bad at everything, all at once. And it's not entirely our fault. The modern world is a fire hose of information aimed directly at our faces. But every time we jump from a work email to that irresistible group chat notification, our brain pays a heavy price, something scientists call a context-switching tax. Think of it like this. Your brain is a world-class chef, trying to prepare a Michelin star meal. But every 15 seconds, we burst into the kitchen and force them to stop everything to help us find our keys. When they finally get back to the stove, the sauce is cold, they've forgotten the spices, and the masterpiece they were crafting is now just a bland, lukewarm mess. That's what we do to our focus all day long. The simple fix? It's called the 20-20 rule. Force yourself to focus on one single task for 20 solid minutes. No phone, no new tabs, no distractions. Then grant yourself 20 seconds to look away, stare at a wall, and let your brain fully reset. You're giving your inner chef a moment of precious silence to actually taste the sauce. All right, next up, that calming little voice from your phone that tells you where to turn. We see it as a helpful co-pilot, but in reality, it's more like a professional brain muscle relaxant. Deep inside our skulls, we have an ancient, incredibly powerful GPS called the hippocampus. This thing is a navigation beast. The famous London taxi drivers who have to memorize 25,000 winding streets and 100,000 landmarks have been shown to have literally bigger, beefier hippocampi. They are actively strength training their internal mapmaker every single day, turning it into a superpower. But every time we blindly type an address into our phone, we're telling that powerful inner explorer, hey, take the day off. Your services are not needed. We are forcing our brain's most brilliant adventure to sit on the couch and binge-watch reality TV. Eventually, it gets lazy, forgets how to read a map, and can't even find its way out of a paper bag. That blank, panicked feeling you get when your phone dies isn't you being bad with directions. It's the sound of your inner navigator shrugging from the unemployment line in your head. The simple fix? Once a week, commit to a GPS blackout. Get to one familiar place, the grocery store, the gym, a friend's house, with your map apps turned completely off. It will feel uncomfortable at first, like your brain is squinting to see in the dark. Good. That means it's finally waking up and starting to draw its own maps again. Okay, let's talk about our thumbs. You know, the ones getting carpal tunnel from scrolling through an endless, glittering waterfall of memes, hot takes, and 10-second dance videos. It feels like harmless fun, but we're essentially putting our brains into a digital sugar coma. Our brain evolved to crave information, but it was designed for a world where information was a scarce, valuable resource, like finding a rare, nutritious berry in the forest. Social media feeds are an infinite, all-you-can-eat buffet of those berries, except they're made of pure, high-fructose corn syrup and have zero nutritional value. Each new post is a tiny, cheap hit of dopamine. Not the deep satisfaction of learning something new, but the quick, addictive buzz of novelty. Ooh, a cat playing a tiny piano. Swipe. Ooh, a celebrity yelling about a product they don't use. Swipe. We're training our brains to need that constant, rapid-fire stimulation. So when we finally put the phone down to read a book or have a real conversation, our brain throws a full-blown tantrum. It's been conditioned for cheap candy, and now we're asking it to appreciate a complex, savory meal. It screams, "This is boring. It's too slow. Where are the dancing cats?" We haven't just lost our focus, we've completely wrecked our brain's reward system. The simple fix? Enforce a strict digital curfew. No screens for the first 30 minutes after you wake up, and the last 30 minutes before you go to sleep. This creates a sacred, protected buffer zone where your brain can remember what it feels like to not be constantly poked by a digital stick. And here's another one we're all guilty of. We've become world-class headline skimmers. We scroll our feed, see a title like, "Shocking Study Finds Coffee is Made from Spiders," and our brain immediately files it away as a possible fact. We are forming entire opinions based on movie trailers. But headlines aren't designed to inform us. They're designed to trigger us. They are tiny, weaponized advertisements for clicks. The real story, the one with all the boring but crucial details, the nuance, the truth, is buried 6 paragraphs deep in an article we will never, ever read. By only skimming the trailers, we're letting our brain's bullshit detector run out of batteries. The simple fix? Make a 1-article-a-day pact. Just once a day, when a headline catches your eye, actually click it and read the whole thing. The goal isn't even to agree with it. The goal is to train your brain to ask, why? Again, to look for the full story, not just the flashy, misleading poster. Then there's decision fatigue. You ever get to the end of the day, having done nothing particularly difficult, but your brain feels like a completely fried circuit board? You can't even decide what to watch on Netflix. A task that should be fun now feels like performing brain surgery on yourself. That's because our brain starts each day with a limited budget of high-quality decision-making energy. Think of it like a video game character with 100 focus points. Every choice we make, no matter how tiny, costs us a point. What should I wear? -1 point. Which email should I answer first? -1 point. We are spending our entire precious budget on trivial, low-stakes garbage. So when a real decision comes along, something important for our career or relationships, our brain's bank account is overdrawn. It has nothing left. It defaults to the easiest, laziest choice. I'll just deal with it tomorrow. The simple fix? Automate the small stuff, ruthlessly. Great minds like Steve Jobs and Mark Zuckerberg famously wore the same outfit every day for this exact reason. You don't have to go that far. Just lay out your clothes the night before, eat the same healthy breakfast every day. You're saving your 5-star big brain energy for the decisions that actually deserve it. Finally, we have developed a deadly allergy to boredom. That 30-second wait for the microwave to finish? We pull out our phone. The 2 minutes waiting in line for coffee? A perfect opportunity to check notifications. We think we're just filling dead air, but we're actually silencing our brain's secret genius. There's a special network in our brain, let's call it the creative workshop, that only turns on when we are doing absolutely nothing. It's where your most original, game-changing ideas are born. It connects that weird dream you had last night to that difficult problem at work, and suddenly, eureka! A solution pops into your head out of nowhere. But the workshop has a strict, non-negotiable rule. The doors only open when the rest of the brain is quiet. It needs you to be bored. The simple fix? Schedule 5 minutes of productive nothing into your day. Literally put it in your calendar. And in those 5 minutes you sit and do nothing. Stare at a wall. Watch a cloud. It will feel excruciatingly uncomfortable at first, like an itch you can't scratch. That's how you know it's working. You are finally giving your best ideas the one thing they desperately need to show up: silence. But if you think these habits are bad, you won't believe the psychological tricks companies use to make you do them. We expose all of them in the video that's on your screen right now.